GSL Season 2.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the 2026 GSL Season 2 Round of 12 Group B. We returned here with the elimination match. We already have our first player advancing on in first place in the form of Zound, surprising us all. To be honest, Classic was the favorite player, but Zound, he popped up in his PvP, scouting very diligently, confirming Classic's proxy of choice every game and shutting him down. And with that, Zound does advance on in first place in his stead. But now we have our first match to determine who's going to be knocked out. Who is going to be knocked out of the tournament. We have a ZvT between Solar and GuMiho. Let's go. Let us go. We have our two players here. They are preparing, they are getting ready, and once again, I'm just excited to see GuMiho. GuMiho, if you recall, he did basically retire. He did silently retire here from StarCraft. Nowadays, GuMiho, he is working elsewhere. Like, he only part-time plays StarCraft or just plays it for fun. GuMiho doesn't really play in tournaments anymore, nowhere near as much as he used to. So that's why it was a pleasant surprise to see GuMiho qualify. It was very, very, very pleasant surprise to see GuMiho qualify for the main event for GSL. Does struggle against Down, and again, GuMiho is the underdog. Straight up, he's the underdog in this group, but I want to see him, you know, shine. I want to see some of those sparks of the GuMiho of old, like we used to see. So I wish to see the good games, mainly. I want to see some good games here by GuMiho. I want to see him test his limits and make a series out of this, as we have our vetoes done. Game 1 is Tourmaline, Game 2 is Mothership, Game 3 is Winter Madness. Okay. Solar does end up banning 2 aggressive maps instead of defeating Ruby Rock. He also takes care of another as we are loading into our first series. Let's go. And spawning in the right hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the red Zerg player. It is Solar. And in the other hand corner, we have the red Terran. It is GuMiho. GuMiho. Let's go. Let us go. We have our fresh series here, and again, we do have the historical record quite close between the two players, at least in offline, a little bit more in favor of Solar in online tournaments. But as I mentioned previously, GuMiho has been very inactive. He's been very, very inactive as of late. There are a couple of players that we do know that have been that have either stepped away or have been stepping away from the game. GuMiho is an example of that. Another one is DRG. He also silently retired. Another one, of course, is Creator. Creator, for those who do not know, he didn't play in Season 1 qualifiers for GSL. Creator, he did start working in IRL. He did, you know, advance his career elsewhere and is now working an IRL job elsewhere as well. Now playing StarCraft part-time. So that has been the case for a couple of players. I think Bunny is similar, actually. I think Bunny is similar, if not mistaken. And because of that, so, you know, we've been seeing less of GuMiho, but hey, he qualified, right? He did qualify to make it through, as we have a gasless opener out of Solar. Ooh, okay, very interesting, especially on Tourmaline. So let's talk about the map itself for a moment here. Tourmaline is a smaller map than Apple. Smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here on Tourmaline, and to go for a gasless opener typically means that Solar is going to be skipping lane speed, right? This typically means with skip lane speed, this could lead into early roaches, into an early roach all in. It could lead into early lair into an early roach all in, or it could lead into an early lair into 2-base muta. There are a couple of options, and technically it could lead into early lair into 2-base Hydra as well. So we'll see what the gas is going to be spent on, either a fast lair or a fast roach warren, or even both. So eyes are on Solar. Meanwhile, GuMiho back at home, just going for a standard opener here. Once again, as you mentioned, roach all-ins do make sense on Tourmaline. They're very common, actually. They're very, very common at this level of play to just commit and double down with roaches, and that's very on brand for Solar. That is our assumptions coming into this. Meanwhile, GuMiho, he's of course renowned for his mech play back in the day, and mech is definitely an option here in ZvT. It is available here for GuMiho, but that he doesn't only play mech. He can play bio, and he can be terrifying with his bio play and bio style as well. We'll see. We'll see. As again, I'm just most curious to see how GuMiho has been approaching things. Something that I will say about his previous series versus Down is that GuMiho was trying out his own builds. Like, he was playing very unique, very different to what is in the meta, and even different to even like more niche builds as well. Like, GuMiho was just doing his own thing. And I was very interested in what he was showcasing. Even here, for example, going for the early bunker rush. The goal here is to move out the SCV and to get a bunker going outside of the third location. Behind this, going for a 1-1-1. Meanwhile, because he's Solar, he does go 2-base lair. That is a 3-minute, 5-second lair timing. A very early lair here by Solar. GuMiho checks to the third. There is no third, right? There's so really unfortunate here for GuMiho. He checks for a third base. There's no third because Solar's going 2-base lair blindly here. Solar, he's countering GuMiho. This early commitment from GuMiho isn't really paying off. There's nothing to kill. There's nothing to really strike. Now, because of the early lair, because of the early Roach Horn, this leads into early Roach speed, into a early Roach all-in timing attack. Early on, GuMiho will pose a bit of a threat to the natural with their 3 queens. Yeah, their 3 queens. Hellions can they get into the middle line, though? The boys are being pulled. 1 queen will go down. Oh, barely not. Yeah, that's nice control so far here by Solar, but the queens are getting very low. And Solar being punished for not making any links. Yeah, no Zerglings here. 1, 2 queens will go down. Nice pickups here by GuMiho. Gets into the mineral line and does roast off 4 drones. Oh, un momento, uno más, papi. He's so close. Gets another volley off. The queen is getting low. Okay, 2 queens, 4 drones. Not a bad trade here for GuMiho. And Solar's going to be committing. The roaches have arrived. Solar's breaking out. Now the question becomes, does Solar go for an all-in or does he drone his third? We're expecting a third base at least for Larva. That is our expectations. Remember, behind this, GuMiho didn't get a third CC. He went for a 1-1-1. And now we have the answer, of course. What is Solar doing? 2-base all-in. 2-base all-in, Pneumatized Carapace that screams Drop Lords. He's going for a German Taxi. So Solar's going for a massive 2-base all-in. Now, the problem here is that Solar's going for a 2-base all-in against a player that hasn't expanded. GuMiho still doesn't have a third. He just now slows down his third CC. That's a very late third base for GuMiho. He's been fixating on his army. So, honestly, blindly here when it comes to our builds, GuMiho, he has a good chance on surviving. He has a very good chance of surviving the all-in. He has a Viking. He's getting early tank production. It comes down to the positioning. It comes down to the engagements. Now, GuMiho does scout the third, so he's aware that Solar's expanding, and he also sees the Master Roach Raptor. He knows. For the most part, he should be aware. He doesn't fully have confirmation. I don't see any bunkers on the way. There's 1 bunker on the low ground. Tank has arrived. Is this going to be enough? As GuMiho, again, he now spots the army. I don't think he's fully aware as to what's going on. Yeah, the Roach Ravager has arrived. Solar for now going to be zoned away. Heads against the Hellions. Nice defense. And Solar's droning. Solar, late drones, late saturation. Solar, he does recognize he cannot kill. Yeah, cannot kill GuMiho. Solar's forced to drone. And who's in a better position here? Depends on what kind of pickups we get. Solar, can he catch out the Ravager? Sorry, I meant to say, can he catch out the tank with the Ravagers? He's nice, very nice contamination. Contaminates the tank. Confirms the third CC. Gets very tense between the 2 players. Very tense. Solar spreading creep. Do love to see it. He's going to be forcing out scans. Delaying the third expansion even longer with creep. Jesus. Catching out a Ravager. Ravager goes down. GuMiho commits across the map. Infestors are still in production. Without the Infestors, Solar, he's in trouble. He is in trouble here. Remember, the soup is lying to you. The Roach Ravager is inflated. Tanks, can they siege in time? He's trying to push forward. Will catch a queen. Tanks, they siege up. And massive pickups. And Soul's being broken. Now, I'm getting deja vu here. GuMiho does abandon his tanks. But massive tank shots on the Roaches. Biles the splits. Yeah, he splits. He barely spreads out in time. More Roaches going down, and GuMiho, he's done it. He has done it. You can see Solar shaking his head on cams. Solar bleeding out too much. GuMiho still rallying. 1 tank will go down, but only 1 tank. GG gets called, and GuMiho, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Once again, we saw almost a blind counter out of GuMiho. So winding it back a little bit here, discussing what just happened. Solar, he opened up gases. He went for a gases opener into a 2-base all-in. Remember, Solar, he went for a 2-base all-in. GuMiho, remember, before even seeing the lack of third, GuMiho went for a 1-1-1 into a 3-1-1 setup, delayed third CC. GuMiho, he was playing 2-base as well, and 2-base versus 2-base, the Terran player's favorite, right? The Terran player has the more efficient army. Solo was hoping that GuMiho was expanding, that GuMiho was building up into a longer macro game. GuMiho wasn't. So GuMiho, he had a solid defense. Solo, he was forced to drone, forced to back off as the all-in was going to fail, and then GuMiho was able to break out and then counterattack with the army that he had built up. So GuMiho did outscale. Once again, very fortunate there by GuMiho, but at the same time, Tourmaline does favor aggression, does favor 2-base all-ins, and both players embraced it, and GuMiho came out ahead. And with that, Solar, he's in a rough position. He's in a very rough position here. We're going to be loading into Mothership for game numero 2. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Green Zerg. It is Solar. And in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Green Terran player. For the red Terran, it is GuMiho. You gotta get it in quick, Pappy. Otherwise, they just don't give you time. But here we go. We are getting into game number 2 here. GuMiho's up 1-0, and can he take the 2-0? We'll see. Welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map, and greed is often favored early on. What I will say is that Zerg players are typically favored in the mid game, in the mid to late game. The reasoning for this is because the bases are very open and the bases are very spread out. So a Terran player trying to maintain a 4 and 5 base economy can be quite difficult on Mothership. It can be quite difficult, to the point where we often just see Fidos of this map instead. So I do think that Solo's going to have an easier time on this map when it comes to macroing and expanding. I do think there's a higher chance that, oh, he's going gases again. Hello. I was going to say there's a higher chance that Solar embraces a standard game, but no. Once again, gases open out of Solar. Now, last game, this led into a 3-minute 5-second lair timing into a 2-base roach all-in. This time, because of the size of the map, I'm imagining 2-base lair again, but this time 2-base muta. Like that's where like my mind is thinking right now. Mutas can work really well on Mothership just because of the size of the map. So bigger map, longer rush distance. Mutas, they can take over the map itself and try to contain your opponents while you mass expand. But again, that's just a feeling that we got. At the end of the day, this could just be another 2-base roach all in from Solar. He might just be done with it and just double down. Like it's possible. It's possible. We'll see what the gas is spent. We shall see. As for now, we do have GuMiho's follow-up, just going Rax expand into his own factory. Standard so far. Solo looking for his opponent. Oh, sorry, the Overlord did confirm GuMiho's location. GuMiho, I believe, it did skip any kind of Reaper Scout. So GuMiho is cutting corners. Does cut some corners here. Just going straight bio, straight marine. Solar, he's banking up that gas. Oh, and this time it is going to be a Rex factory into fast third TC. GuMiho is being more economic this time. Okay, much more economic opener out of GuMiho. Likewise, Solar gets a faster third as well. I say faster third. It's still late compared to a standard build, but a third base nonetheless. So both players are going for faster expansions. Solar does go for link speed. This tells me that Solar, I believe, is still mining gas. We have to pan to the main. He does, it looks like, leave a couple of workers in gas here. So link speed tells us that he's most likely not going to play roaches. But with continued gas mining, we still might go for the earlier lair here, but it looks like he only has 1 mining gas. Okay. So we're calming down. We're calming, yeah, as you can see, just 1 mining gas. So we're just calming down, droning, saturating. I'm still not pulling muta play off the table, not yet. But so far we're just calming down. And we will be able to embrace the longer game this time. We could embrace the mid game. Here we go. have a reacted Hellion into Raven. Okay, not Banshee opener. Interesting. That's a 4-minute lair timing. This is still lair first out of Solar, but this is more of a standard lair timing here. Earlier than normal, like usually a standard lair timing is like 4:30. This here is at 4 minutes. Gases are being taken. I'm still not ruling out Mutaplay. I see gases, I see slightly faster lair, and I still see no Eva chambers or Baneling Nest. And we're banking a lot of gas. Show us the mutas. Safety Baneling Nest. No Eva chambers yet. We still got a bunch of gas. We have over 200 gas here. A lot getting caught out. GuMiho going for Banshee after the Raven. Interesting. And Lair's not done. Show us what you got. Show us the Spire. There it is. It's Bappy. We just know. We called Spire at the beginning of the game. Now, to be fair, I thought it was going to be 2-base Lair into 2-base Muta. This was not that. This was still an earlier Lair. It was at 4 minutes. So earlier Spire tech, and we're getting to Spire nonetheless, just in a safer way. Solo's not being as... he's not cutting as many corners getting into Mutas. But again, as we mentioned previously, Mutas are very common on Mothership just because of the size of the map. It's very, very common. And GuMiho should be aware of it. Now, my one concern is that GuMiho, he is out of the meta, he's out of practice, he doesn't play in as many tournaments, so I don't know if he's aware of the commonality of Muta play on a map like this. So far, he's still playing standard, getting into his own bio. Does curve some creep, but has yet to go into the bases. GuMiho so far has not scouted the lair timing and did not scout the Spire and didn't scout the lack of Evo chambers. There are a couple different things that you can look for that will give you a sign of things to come. The gas is being taken, lack of tech, lack of Evo chambers, earlier lair, but GuMiho's seen none of that so far. So there's no sign of mutas from GuMiho's perspective. Yeah, GuMiho once again is deflected. Does not get in. Did make that Banshee, but I don't think the Banshee's moved out yet. If it even finished. No, he hasn't. He's got that one Banshee. Banelings are going to be revealing themselves. Still not yet. Mutas are out, no turrets in position, and GuMiho's getting caught with his pants down. Oof. And Mutas, they do hit the base. GuMiho does spot this. He does react. GuMiho does react, does respond. Turning back around. It's going to be 7 SCV kills already. 7 SCVs. Banelings, they almost crash in. Quick reactions out of GuMiho. He does kite back, does pull away. Pull away in time. That was still a decent amount of economic damage, and now GuMiho just commits. Yeah, he just commits across the map. Now remember, we bring this up all the time, because whenever you go Muta play, your Link Bane is weaker, right? Eva chambers are delayed, upgrades are delayed, so this is going to be a weaker Link Bane army here for Solar. And can he survive this? Can he hold? As GuMiho he commits, he's got his Hellblaster tank. A couple of Marines go down. Hellblaster getting ready for a backstab. Really, we need them in the front lines. Auto harass into the main. Banelings, they once again try to roll in. We can see Solar coming from behind with mutas, but not with Lings. Yeah, these Hellbats, they have to reposition. Ideally, you have the Hellbats protect the tanks against the Ling Bane, not against the mutas. Oh. Almost. Does at least deny the expansion. Does scan. The longer this goes on, the more Ling Bane there's going to be. GuMiho does pull away. Oh, almost. Yeah, medevacs are exposed. But GuMiho makes it back home. He makes it back. Oh, cuidado. GuMiho, he does rotate towards the south side. Pushing towards the fresh fourth base of Solar. GuMiho is leaving a lot of his reinforcements back at home. So his main army is that much weaker. Is GuMiho A-Raxing? Oh, it's a variation of A-Rax. Ah, okay. My apologies. I should have pointed that out earlier. But GuMiho, he is attempting to A-Rax. He's going for add-ons though, so he's transitioning. Banelings out of... Oh my god. Whew. GuMiho does react in time. Catching up Banelings. Better trade for GuMiho. That's a lot of Banelings just being thrown away. And GuMiho's pushing. And he thinks about pushing. He wants the 4th. Splits up some Marines. There's a lot of Ling Bane down here. Both players are maxed out. But again, GuMiho still has a bunch of Marines devoted to defense. And how does he react? Marines, they stim in. eBay does barely go down. Nice pickup, delaying 3-3. At the same time, I don't see this army doing too much here. GuMiho just doesn't have enough reinforcements. The tank shots, so they do punish. Yeah, tank volley's going up. Ling Bane does attempt to roll in. Once again, massive tank shots on the Ling Bane. And here comes the rally. Here comes the rally. Here comes the 8-Rax. I was mentioning 8-Rax for those that are unaware. 8-Raxes means you don't get any tech labs for your Marauder, so it's pure Marine tank. It's very cheap. It's very cheap. Just 8-Raxes, pure Marine tank. It doesn't scale well into a longer game, but it does allow for a big timing attack like this. We're maxed out with a very high DPS army. Banelings, they take down the first wave of tanks. Marines, they're rallying across, and they're just too many Marines. Just man with gun. This is the power of an 8-Rax. You're just overwhelming. You can see the production. We're making 15 Marines at a time. Yeah, 15 Marines. We're just overwhelming. There are some Banelings morphing in, though. Oh, can he hold? The Banelings just in time. And with that solar, he holds on. He cleans up the army. Whew. Forcing back the bio. There's no tanks behind this, but we have more rallies. We have more reinforcements. The rally continues. You can see there's the Marine push across the map. The rally, the parade push. That's what I was looking for. He's parade pushing. Denies the Banelings. And man with gun proves to be too much. And no shot. Coming into this, GuMiho was the underdog, but again, when it comes to the builds of choice here, Solar, he did risk it all, both game 1 and game 2, and he gets punished for it. There it is. Hands off the keyboard. Solar knows GG gets called, and GuMiho will claim the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. GuMiho taking it old school here, going for the 8-Rax, going for the 3-base all-in. For those that are curious, when you go for an 8-Rax like this, how can you afford 8-Raxes? You don't take the gases. You don't take your gases at the 3rd base, you don't get a 2nd factory, and you don't get a 4th CC. It's basically a 3-base all-in out of GuMiho, and this works very well against players that are being greedy. And Solo was being greedy tech-wise, by going into pure Ling Bane Muta, by rushing to early Muta tech and delaying his own Ling Bane tech itself, and with that, Sola, he's out. He's out of GSL. GG, well played. We are getting ready for the final series of the broadcast. It's going to be a TVP between Classic and GuMiho. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon.